Hello, hello, hello. I know I'm kind of going live at a random time here. I didn't really go live at my normal time, which is normally 11:30 on Tuesdays, but here I am because it's all about self-care. That's why. That's why I'm here at a different time because sometimes you need to do the things that you need to do to take care of you. So yesterday was a really, really packed day. Like literally from the moment I woke up until 10 o'clock at night, like the full thing. And then we had an overnight disturbance. So didn't sleep great. I slept okay, but I didn't sleep great. And then today was feeling a little tired. So I took some time to take a quick nap and have some lunch and some water. And I went live at a different time. And that is okay. So it's all about self care. So I wanted to talk today about Valentine's Day. So here is a little story. So, all my life, I've always not really been a fan of Valentine's Day because it often just feels like this Hallmark holiday. There's so much pressure around it as well about what did you do for Valentine's Day? Or there used to be. I don't know if there is as much anymore because I've just kind of disconnected from it in some ways. But it could be sometimes be like, what did your husband do for you? What did you do? Did you go out on a date? Did you get your significant other or your date this present? Well, was it enough? Well, maybe I should have done this. And then kids sending Valentines in your kids' classroom too. Well, you see what, you are maybe doing one thing and then you see what else comes home from the classroom and so and so's mom did this giant treat bag with all of these different things in it and you just get this comparisonitis with it. And so had a party and there's just so much comparison and there can be pressure with it as well. And why is it this one day that we're celebrating our significant other? Why not every day instead of, so much pressure on this one day? So I've really just never been a huge fan of Thanksgiving Day outwardly. So outwardly, I was always kind of not celebrating it really, talked about those things I didn't really like about it. But here's the secret. Secretly, I loved Valentine's Day because I loved buying the boxes of chocolates for myself. So I would buy them and sometimes I would stash them and keep them secret so that I could just like really just have all of that chocolate. And it was kind of this secret thing that I did. And this time of year, and so it kind of what it felt like was a treat for me. So I was ignoring all of the other things that Valentine's Day is about, but for me, it kind of felt like this treat, and that was a way that I was treating myself. And so when we are treating ourselves with food, and sometimes that's fine because there is food for the soul and there is food for fuel, and we need both. But if you are just always only treating yourself with food, you need a different strategy. You need something else to kind of to help you. That's long term. So that was the way that one of the ways that I was treating myself. However, if you think about all of the things that come along with that, it would feel good for a few minutes and then that night or the next day, I would have all the fallout from it. So and continuing on, because this was kind of a snowball effect throughout many different areas of what I was eating, just so much inflammation, um, all of the issues of, that really kind of acid stomach feeling, of yeast overgrowth, like every single month, having to deal with that, of all of the other things that kind of show up on your skin and acne and also being just out of balance with the sugar and then now having those really high highs and high lows. So being really hungry and then sometimes just feeling really shaky, and then these temperature changes and all of these things that come along, that the way that sugar kind of wreaks havoc on our body. And it's not that I never, ever, ever had it again, but I was able to kind of break free from that. And if you think about it, the way that where Valentine's is, it's kind of at a perfect point because we need something. By the time we get to mid February, we are really needing something. So we just had the holidays, and there's all of the things that happen with the holidays and all of the stress. Good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining me. I can't see your name unless you give StreamYard access, and there's a little thing you can click, and StreamYard will say if it's okay. You can tell StreamYard if it's okay if your name is seen, but I'll see it in the group. So Valentine's Day really comes at this kind of perfect time where we've had the holidays, where we've had it kind of all of that excitement and stress. And then we get over that and we get into January, and we are, you know, trying to pay off the bills from the holidays. We are trying to reset and get back on track. And also, if you're in the northern hemisphere, then it's pretty dark in January. It's pretty cold in January. You might not be able to exercise outside as much as you used to. That might not be as true depending on where you live in the northern hemisphere. But I know for a lot of people, it is kind of this season of darkness where maybe the weather isn't cooperating. We might be exercising less. There's more people who are sick. So there's all of these things that happen in January, this kind of darkness. And then we get to February and we just need something. We just need something. And there's Valentine's Day. And so it's so easy to fall into that and want to, give ourselves that. And that's what I used to do was, I couldn't wait to get my hands on the chocolate. It was funny. I had a friend that I met from Australia, and she said, I never understood why Americans made such a big deal out of Valentine's Day, because in Australia, we really didn't talk about it at all. Like maybe in preschool, they would do something with it, but it was not a big deal at all. And then she moved to the US, to the northern part of the US, and she said, oh, now I get it. Because by the time you get to this point in the year, it has been cold, it has been dark, you need something. So that's why, people kind of make a big deal out of it. So let's talk about treating yourself with food when you're using food as self-care. So when we get to this point in the year and we are going to treat ourselves with this, what we are saying is that we really are, that this is a wonderful, awesome gift that we are giving ourselves. And this is some way that we are taking care of ourselves. And in some ways, yes, it tastes good and it can be fine if, it doesn't send you off on a spiral, but really, we deserve to really feel good. And we're missing this whole other piece of self-care when that's the only thing that we are taking care of. So what we really deserve is we really deserve to have energy. We really deserve to feel good. We really deserve to be connected with other people. And those are sometimes some of the things that I think are missing. And that's why we often, and so we're feeling stressed out. We are feeling disconnected from people. We are feeling worried. So we are looking for the ways to put that back into our life and the ways to kind of feel good, even if it's only temporarily. But at what cost? At what cost do we have that? So, here are some of the ways that you can work with that on this Valentine's Day. So, the number one tool that you can use is curiosity. And I know that sounds kind of strange, but really just being with an open type of curiosity of what is it that I need? What is it that my soul is looking for here? What can I help myself with? And if you can have compassionate curiosity, then you can begin to explore some other avenues of how you can satisfy yourself. So, um, one of the things, so three of the things that you can do, one big thing that's often missing in our lives is connection. And we know that we have all these different people that we can connect with. We know we can pick up the phone with them and or we can meet up with them if we're able to do so, but we often don't do it. So, and this is one of the areas that is can be really powerful. So here is an interesting fact. So there is a concept that we are less and less satisfied with the things that we do to treat ourselves. So we buy a house, and then we need a bigger house. And then we're in the bigger house, and then we need a house by the ocean. And then, same with food. We have this treat, and then we need more of the treat. And then we're trying to get back to the way the treat tasted on the first bite. So we keep eating the treat, hoping that we get back to the same treat. So there are these diminishing returns with acquiring things, with also with food. There are these diminishing returns that we're not getting the satisfaction that we got. And so we need more, bigger, better, more, bigger, better. The place where this does not happen is in relationships, which is interesting. So relationships are not subject to this effect. So when we have connections and relationships, we feel really satisfied by that. And it's not that it wears off. And then we're dissatisfied and we have this itch to go more, bigger, better. But when we have connection and relationships, it really does satisfy our soul. So that's the first thing is connection and relationships. So if you normally do treat yourself on Valentine's Day, think about who set up a phone call with a friend if you're able to, or something that you can get together. So have that connection with somebody because that really satisfies us on a soul level. Another thing is we get stuck in the monotony of things. So we're just doing the same thing over and over again. And by the time we get to mid February, we are ready to be done. People, particularly in the northern part of the northern hemisphere, we're itching to be done. So doing something that's unique is really helpful. So that also satisfies us in a unique way as well. So that is something. Can you do a different activity? Can you walk in a different place? Can there's lots of great activities that are around that you can try with somebody. So something that's unique really satisfies us in a way that eating the same thing over and over again really cannot. And so, again, curiosity is really helpful here because as you're going through the box of chocolates, you can notice that your satisfaction level drops. If you really pay attention in your body, that the first bite does not taste like the 17th bite. And if you can begin to tune into that, your brain will start to recognize, like, this is really just not as satisfying as it was. But things like connections with people and doing unique activities, those continue to provide a level of satisfaction that we're not constantly searching for to try to, replace that. It's really satisfying with that. So that's really, really where curiosity comes into. The last thing you can do is, which also kind of falls into something unique, is something that you can do at night that is an activity that's a unique activity. Maybe there's a journal, maybe there's a coloring book that you can try, a puzzle. So you can pair a treat with these other things and really get satisfied because we know that the first bite of something is different than, as I mentioned, the 17th bite. So if you can really kind of be aware, you can have a bite of something and compare and combine that with an activity that is more satisfying, and really does fill you up. So hopefully these are some just bringing awareness to Valentine's for you, because that used to be kind of a trigger for me as well. So if you are struggling to combat the cravings, if you are needing more energy, and also you want to increase your metabolism. You're kind of stuck on how to do those things. Oh, good. Hey, Gail. Then join us in our group. It's Live the Sweet Life on Facebook, and you can find the link here in the comments. So hopefully that gives you some ways to kind of deal with Valentine's Day and really still feel satisfied. All right, I'll see you around. Thank you.